Hey, welcome back to Real Talk, the podcast where we don't pretend English is easy, we just make it feel possible. I'm Mike.
And I'm Sarah. And okay, before we even start today, Mike, can I just say something honest right off the top?
Always.
I had a moment yesterday, a real moment. I was in a coffee shop, right? The barista asked me, "Do you want room for cream?" And I just froze. Room for cream. I know what those words mean individually, but in that second, my brain just went completely blank. I said, "Yes, thank you." And then I didn't even want cream. I just couldn't think of how to say no correctly without it being weird.
Oh no. But also, yes, I feel that exact thing. You know the language, you've studied it. And then one real human being looks at you and it just evaporates.
And that's what today's episode is about. Because I think a lot of people listening right now have had their version of the coffee shop moment. And they think it means something is wrong with them. Like, maybe they're just not a natural.
And we are here today to completely dismantle that idea. We're talking about confidence, real confidence, when speaking English. Not the fake, just believe in yourself kind. The kind that actually comes from something.
All right, let's get into it. So I want to start with something that I think nobody says out loud. When you're learning a second language and you're in a real conversation, not a classroom, not an app, there's this voice in your head that says, "You don't belong here."
Oof, yeah, that's real.
Like, everyone else seems so relaxed, so fluent, and you're standing there translating in your head, checking your grammar before you open your mouth, and by the time you're ready to say something, the moment has passed.
And here's what I find fascinating about that. Native speakers feel that too. Like, English is my first language, and I still sometimes walk into a room full of people and think, what do I even say? What if I say something stupid?
Wait, seriously?
100%. Social fear is not a language problem. It's a human problem. The language just gives it extra ammunition when it's not your first one.
That's such an important point. Because I think a lot of learners believe that once their English is good enough, once they hit some level, the fear will just disappear.
And it doesn't work like that.
It really doesn't. Confidence doesn't come after you get good. Confidence comes from doing the thing while you're still scared. That's actually the definition of it, right?
That's it. Confidence is not the absence of fear. It's talking anyway. It's saying, I might stumble, I might say the wrong word, and I'm going to try anyway.
And here's the reframe that changed everything for me. Stop trying to impress people. Start trying to connect with them.
Say more about that.
Okay, so when I was terrified to speak, what was I actually afraid of? I was afraid of looking bad, of being judged, of someone thinking, wow, her English is weak. That's all about me and my image.
Ego protection mode.
Exactly. But the second I shifted to, okay, I just want to understand this person. I just want them to feel like I'm genuinely interested in what they're saying. The fear shrinks. Because now it's not about me anymore.
That's a massive shift. And it sounds simple, but it's actually a completely different way of entering a conversation. Okay, so let's talk about practical tools. Because mindset is great, but people also need something to do.
Yes, concrete stuff.
The first thing, and this sounds almost too simple, is noticing your environment before a conversation starts. Like, if you're going to a party, a work event, anything social, just look around. What do you see? What's interesting? What's unusual?
Because those become conversation topics.
Instantly. Oh, that's a cool painting. Do you know who made it? I've never tried this food before. What is it? You're not manufacturing topics. You're just paying attention.
I love that. Because the anxiety often comes from feeling like you have to arrive with something brilliant to say. But you don't. You just have to arrive curious.
Curious. That word is everything in this context. Curious people are great at conversation not because they're smart, but because they make the other person feel interesting.
And here's something I started doing before situations that felt scary. I call it my 2-sentence warm-up. I just say something, anything to someone before the main event. The person at the front desk, someone in the elevator, just small talk. Busy day today, isn't it? Or, I can't believe how warm it is outside.
Oh, that's brilliant. You're basically stretching before the main workout.
Right. And it works because it reminds your brain, hey, we can do this. We've done it before. The muscle is warm.
And small talk gets such a bad reputation. People think it's shallow. But it's actually the gateway. Like, every meaningful relationship started with small talk. How's the weather? Became, what do you do? Became, I think we see the world the same way.
100%. And a simple opener that works in almost any situation. How do you know everyone here? Or, what brings you to this? So open-ended, so low pressure.
Let me add one more tool. And this one took me a while to really get. It's about preparation, not performance. Before something important, a presentation, a job interview, a first date, whatever, don't rehearse a speech. Just get familiar with the territory.
What do you mean by territory?
Like, think about the likely topics. If it's a work meeting, what might come up? If it's a social event, what might people be excited to talk about? You're not scripting yourself. You're just loosening up the vocabulary ahead of time.
So it's available when you need it.
Exactly. Not frozen in your head, just ready.
Can we talk about the awkward phase? Because I think that's where a lot of people give up.
The early stage of trying something new and being bad at it.
And it's uncomfortable. Like, genuinely uncomfortable. You try to make a joke in English and the timing is off. You start a sentence and then you lose the word and you have to stop and describe around it. And it feels embarrassing.
But here's the thing, that awkwardness, it's not a sign that you're failing. It's the sign that you're learning. Like, a toddler falls 100 times before they walk. We don't say the toddler has a walking problem.
We say they're learning to walk.
Exactly. The falling is the learning. You can't skip it.
And think about it from the cost side. What is the actual cost of staying silent? You go home having connected with no one, having practiced nothing, having grown 0. Versus trying and stumbling, maybe someone laughs, maybe there's an awkward pause, but you get a little bit better.
Silence has a price too. People forget that.
They do. And I genuinely believe that staying silent in a social situation because you're afraid is more exhausting than just speaking. You spend the whole time in your head, managing fear, replaying the words you didn't say. That takes so much more energy than just talking.
It's the rehearsal that never becomes a performance.
Oh, I love that. The rehearsal that never becomes a performance. You're running the lines in your head endlessly, but the show never starts.
Okay, here's the thing I want to say, and it's a little unexpected. The real secret to confident conversation, it's not about talking more. It's about listening better.
Yes, this is so important.
Most people in conversation are not really listening. They're waiting for their turn to speak. They're half listening while they build the next thing they want to say.
And you can feel it when someone is doing that to you, right? It's hollow. Like talking to a wall that occasionally says, uh-huh.
Right. But when someone is truly listening, like actually listening, not just waiting, you feel it. You feel seen, and you want to keep talking.
And for language learners, this is actually a superpower. Because when you're genuinely listening, to understand, not to reply, your comprehension goes up. You pick up on words in context, you notice phrases, you absorb the rhythm of the other person's speech.
And here's a technique that comes out of this. Mirroring. It sounds simple, but it's surprisingly powerful. When someone says something, you reflect a key part of it back to them.
Can you show what that looks like?
Sure. So let's say someone says, I've been so stressed about this presentation all week. Instead of immediately jumping to advice or your own story, you just say, stressed about it all week? That sounds exhausting. That's it.
And they feel heard. They want to continue.
Completely. And you've just kept the conversation going with almost no effort. No brilliant topic needed, no perfect vocabulary, just genuine reflection.
It also buys you time. If you need a second to think, mirroring is perfect. You're not silent, you're not stalling. You're actually being the better listener in the room.
And what that means for fluency is something I find really beautiful. Fluency isn't about perfect grammar. It's not about an accent. It's about shared meaning. Did the other person feel understood? Did you understand them? If yes, that's fluency. That's what it actually is.
That completely reframes it.
It does. Grammar is a tool. Connection is the goal.
Okay, before we wrap up, I want to talk about something nobody covers. Endings. How do you end a conversation?
The graceful exit.
Confident people don't just start conversations well. They close them with warmth. And I think a lot of learners get stuck. They want to leave, but they don't know how to do it without it feeling abrupt or rude.
So let's give people some real phrases. Something natural like, "It was so great talking to you. I'm going to go grab a drink, but let's catch up later."
Or, "I really enjoyed this conversation. I don't want to monopolize your time." Said with a smile, friendly, warm, clean exit.
Or even simpler, "I'm going to make the rounds, but it was really nice to meet you."
And the key is that all of these do two things at once. They close the conversation, and they leave the other person feeling good. That's confidence. That's graceful.
And if you can start a conversation, stay genuinely present in it, and close it with warmth, you know how to talk to anyone. That's the whole skill, right there.
To everyone listening, you're not behind, you're not broken, you're just in the awkward middle, which is exactly where the growth happens. Every stumble is a deposit in your fluency bank.
Try one conversation today. Just one. Notice something in your environment. Ask a question. Mirror something back. And see what happens.
We believe in you, Real Talk family. See you next time.